His resume is pretty solid. How's yours?
This is ECW Original, the Enforcer, the Extreme Horseman, the Wattwapper, C.W. Anderson, and you're watching Coach Josh Gerry. The reason I watch the coach is because I'm an Anderson.
Hey everyone, it's Coach Josh Gerry, and today we're going to talk about pro wrestling resumes. A topic came up on Facebook, and myself and Uncle Bob Evans started chatting about it, hence the reason I'm rocking the Hangs with Bob t-shirt, and we wanted to talk about pro wrestling resumes. I get a lot of questions about how to reach out to promoters, what's the best way to put your foot forward, how do you build a pro wrestling resume, and it's pretty simple. You build a pro wrestling resume as if it were a real job that you're applying for, because you should consider pro wrestling a job. Okay? If you consider it a hobby, that's all it will be for the rest of your life. If you treat it like a career and you treat it like a job, then eventually it will be your paying job. Mindset, right? So you want to make it look professional. So I have a little bit of something special here. I have a wrestling resume that I received many years ago from somebody that you guys may know, Adam Cole. Yes, this is literally Adam Cole's pro wrestling resume from 2000 and looks like about 11, 12 maybe, give or take. But it's just to give you an idea of what you need to put on this. I show this to all of my pro wrestling students so that they can pore over it. If you want a copy of it, send me a message. I'll send it to you. It's no big deal. But some of the important information that you want to have on a pro wrestling resume is your shoot name and your contact information. That's the biggest thing. Email, phone number, website if you've got one, all your social media links if you've got it. Don't cram it all in the top. Make it succinct, make it tight, make it readable, but you want to have your contact information there. Now, this one actually has a quote from Les Thatcher that Les Thatcher said about Adam Cole's experience, and so that's a nice little addition there. Now, and of course, you go into your work or your gimmick or your character, right? That name, build, height, weight, birth date, who you were trained by. And it's not just who you were initially trained by, but it is who you've worked out with, who you've had classes with, seminars you've gone to, camps you've done, things like that. You want to put it just like education on a professional resume. Your professional wrestling resume needs to have it as well. There's clinics, camps, seminars, your pro debut, and there's actually a tidbit here, how many matches you've had as a professional. If you don't remember exactly, that's fine. And of course, you could put it out at 100 matches, and by the time somebody reads it, you've had 200. You can constantly update it, which you should be updating a resume anyway. Any promotions that you've worked for, that's an obvious one. And don't just put the alphabet soup that is what they're known for. The alphabet soup, which if you don't know what that means, that's the XYZ, the ABC, whatever of the promotion. But then also spell it out and where they're based. Any titles you may have held, anything special that you may have done for some of these promotions. And then, of course, obviously, you want to make yourself stand out a little more. In particular, Adam Cole's here actually has, he was in The Wrestler with Mickey Rourke. That's in there. His appearances with Ring of Honor. Any media you've done, podcasts, if you were in the newspaper for wrestling-related things, if you were on a news station for something wrestling-related, any media you've done, any public speaking, anything that will help set you apart so that when somebody looks at this resume, they can go, wow, this guy's done more than just wrestling. Any non-wrestling related jobs you've done in the pro wrestling business. If you've been a referee, if you've been a manager, if you've been an announcer, if you've run sound, if you've done ring crew, etc. All that stuff needs to go in there. And then if you've done any charity, if you've done charity pro wrestling events where X amount of the proceeds was donated to so-and-so, that's a good thing because that's a character builder, okay? Any extra skills, interests, things like that, that might set you apart. If you can speak 3 different languages, that sets you apart from somebody that just speaks English. Now, here's the kicker. You want to make it neat and nice and everything, but how do you get it into the hands of a promoter or somebody that has influence on getting you a job in professional wrestling? You can do what 90% of all the people out there in the world do. I've gotten them. Every promoter in the country has gotten them. You get the same copy and paste message, hey, I'm just wondering if you've got any spots. Here's my resume. Here's links to my matches. Get back in touch with me. Everybody does it. Promoters get 15 to 50 of those a week. They're a dime a dozen. Here's the key to getting your resume in front of a promoter or a booker. And one of the big reasons that I have the Hangs with Bob t-shirt on. Bob commented and said, here, hand the resume to the actual promoter. If the promoter is actually able to connect a face to this piece of paper, that does a whole lot more than just sending a blanket Facebook message or email to somebody. Standing out. How many people do you know are going to drive 300 miles to a promotion they've never been to before to introduce themselves and hand a resume? Not many. You're automatically going to stand out. And on top of that, if you help set up and you help tear down and you're a nice, decent, hardworking human being, they'll open more doors than you would ever imagine. Building relationships and standing out from the crowd are two of the biggest factors to success in professional wrestling. So guys, if you've got a professional wrestling resume and you want to make it better, or you want some advice, or you want some critiques, send them to me. Easily available. All of my links to social media are in the description. Connect with me. Send me messages. Tweet me. Instagram me. Tag me. Whatever you need to do. People do it all the time, and I answer every single message. Comment in the video comment sections down below there. And you never know. I will look at it and I will give you the best advice that I can to make it look as good as possible. But you have to do the work to get it in the hands of a promoter. As always, guys, my name is Josh Gerry. Click over there to subscribe. Click over there for more videos. And as always, keep driving and striving.